Welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Do not forget to like, comment, and click the red button below your screen to subscribe on Custom Reports TV.
Hello, and thanks for staying with us. More serious intercepts by some commands in Nigerian Customs Service. Also on Customs reports, Oyo Oshu Command warns smugglers against bringing contraband items into the country. Plus, more report. I am Egeseme Etinye. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has urged importers and stakeholders in the industry to always follow the laid down rules as approved by government. He made the declaration in Lagos when he was represented by the Assistant Controller General of Customs in charge of Zone A. The CG said that some West African countries should follow the laid down rules in importation of consignments through the border posts. He said that the border is still under partial closure. At a lecture on border closure in Lagos, he said that the federal government is still waiting for reports on border closure by neighboring countries on the system, on how the system can work. Some of the participants at the lecture have this to say. The Assistant Controller General of Customs, Zone A, also said that the customs is working in line with the federal government policies on border partial closure.
You see, at times when I see our government or people in policy coming out, turning out policy, they should engage us first before doing it. Because we are on the field, we know what is up to them. Government should please do something for us. There's no way, nowhere, anywhere in the world. It's always the association of the small holders that holds the economy of that place. Even SME, if I'm right.
Since August 20th last year, to curtail the smuggling of rice, other staple products, arms and ammunition, and premium motor spirits, as well as to strengthen internal security. This policy action has had positive and negative implications for the economy. On positives, we have seen appreciable increase in domestic rice and poultry product production. Fuel smuggling to neighboring countries have significantly reduced. The directive paid off for the Nigeria Customs Service as revenue generated by the agency increased to 1.34 trillion in 2019 from 1.2 trillion in 2018. On the flip side, the closure of the land borders has triggered inflationary pressure through rising food prices. Food inflation continues to go in the uptrend, hitting a record of 14.7% in December last year, with being the highest in 20 months. The policy pronouncement has also led to unplanned losses for manufacturers. That's why man is here, especially those who export their products to neighboring countries by road. Cross-border trade has been stifled as traders from neighboring countries can no longer access Nigeria market by road. The border closure has also paralyzed commercial activities in border communities. Trade sector is currently feeling the backlash of this policy. According to official statistics, the trade sector fell into recession in the third quarter of 2019, even as its contribution to the gross domestic product dropped 1% in the same period. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, ECOWAS recently constituted a committee to assess the impact of the border closure on trade in the sub-region and make recommendations on the way forward.
Well, what I will be telling those of us in the private sector is that government means well by virtue of this policy, and the government is, of course, open to further engagement on this. And part of the reasons that we have put this forum together is to get the views of the various stakeholders. And we are going to use this to further engage the government on the need to review the current position of things.
That drill had really brought a lot of relief to this country, to Nigeria. If you think of all the arms and ammunition that we used to seize, we used to apprehend, arms and ammunition, expired rice, drugs, tramadol, not because tramadol is prohibited, no, but they come in dosages that are not approved. The approved dosage is 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams for extreme cases, but you see them coming in 225 milligrams, even up to 1,000 milligrams. And that is why our young people their heads are almost gone now. So, and then in terms of security, you notice that car snatching across the border had drastically reduced. And all these, banditry, it had drastically reduced. So that means the arms and ammunition are being supplied from across the border. But now these things are really reduced, so we have that relief. Then look at our revenue, the customs revenue. We used to record 4 to 5 billion on daily basis, but now we are recording 5 to 6 billion because all the goods they used to smuggle across the border are now rerouted to come in through the ports legally in a manner approved by the customs. So we notice more throughput coming to Nigeria. Even the eastern seaports have picked up the activities, and our farmers, our local farmers are very happy. I heard them saying that they have employed over 1,000 graduates, and they are employing more. Remember, custom is employing 3,000 too. And now, if our local farmers are employing 1,000 plus, you could see what I'm saying. They are really reducing the number of unemployed graduates out there on the streets. And that is very good for us. They are smiling to the banks because many people are now eating local rice. People have discovered that it is more nutritious. Local rice is more nutritious. When you cook it, you perceive the aroma. You perceive the aroma of freshness in it. Unlike the foreign rice that you don't even know how long it has stayed across the border before being smuggled in. And as a matter of fact, the CBN had not given any rice farmer forex to import rice since 2014. So we know that much. So on the poultry farmers also are very happy. So altogether, we are very, very positive about the gains of the border drill.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The customs stakeholders held a meeting in Port Harcourt and has commended on a 2 command for surpassing the revenue target in 2019. At the meeting, the area controller said that the command surpassed the revenue target due to guidelines set up by the Customs Controller General alongside with the management of Nigerian Customs Service. So the 2020 target will also be met, even surpassed by the command. So the participant at the stakeholders meeting says that Nigerian Customs Service should continue to implement government measures to the latter. The Customs Area Controller also said that in 2019, seizures arrests were also made by his command. He commended his officers for a good performance. He urged stakeholders to continue to implement government policies.
That you hearken to our call is indicative of the generally positive relationship between us, which is essential to achieving the goals of the government. A gathering like this offers the opportunity for collective critical study, sharing of ideas, peer review of organizational findings and experiences towards boosting our efficiency. At our individual and collective levels, we may not have done badly in the past, but there are rooms for improvement which we must fill. We are in the era of exciting development in trade facilitation, especially with the expectation and the trust government has bestowed on us. When business persons seek to make gains from their investment endeavor, we as government operators are obliged to seeing them comply in line with Western rules. Our insistence on due process and total compliance is in keeping with the demands of our job and justifying the trust bestowed on us in line with our professional conduct. Revenue collection, suppression of smuggling, trade facilitation are aspects of our job which we hope never to compromise. There are strides in the digitalization process which has necessitated renewed commitment by the present administration through system automation of documents which give us tremendous advantage towards our common goal. It is no longer news that our command generated total revenue of 107.3 billion last year and surpassed the annual target of 95.7 billion given to us by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. All would not have been attainable without your unflinching support in one way or the other. And I have to pause here and more sincerely thank you because it is collective effort. Each and every one of us contributed. It is not customary alone. But all of us, the key stakeholders here, I want to say from the bottom of my heart and my officers and me, a big thank you.
Now, from what has been happening, we've had experiences where our drugs are being detained by customs because of some certain differences between them and the customs, and the agents and the customs. Sometimes they keep our trucks for months. You understand? So I'm also suggesting that something has to be done about it. We want customs to look into that because we don't know, we don't participate in doing examination inside the port. We don't know what we are carrying. So customs should set up a kind of platform that give these things quick response so that when drivers have this kind of problems, they should be looked into upon swiftly.
Foremost, we should have a mindset, a positive mindset, that these people coming to take goods from the port are also as patriotic as the government agencies, operatives. When we have that positive mindset, we now begin to also understand that compliance has been about 90%, not the other way around. So when freight forwarders come to take their containers or whatever their cargoes, the customs should not be looking at them as these are groups of people coming to commit crime. Because when that happens, when you realize that compliance is at 90%, we know that the remaining 10% could create problem. But the 90%, you should also facilitate things. Because in most of the cases, like I mentioned earlier, when you remove your cargo is exceeded, the task force will look at it, they won't find anything. Therefore, you will look at it, they won't find anything in 90% of the cases. So, what I'm advocating is a positive mindset. We are also patriotic. We will not allow things that are not supposed to come in as freight forwarders.
The command has decided to engage the stakeholders in regular meetings and in-house training at operational levels. Ladies and gentlemen, in spite of the laudable achievement of the command, the essence of this forum is to discuss all our challenges together to a fast solution that will lead us to greater success. And that is the whole agenda of this meeting. All of us have our challenges so that we discuss it in-house collectively. Our target is to make ONE user-friendly and a model for trade facilitation. we have to be proactive in view of the increased cargo that we're expecting diversion from Lagos port to this place. Like we have here, the MPA manager, we even said today, we have 2 ships that will be batting today. So with the increase in volume, there is the need for us to come together with brainstorm in order to make the turnaround very fast. We have bankers here. We don't have to start going to Lagos to go and open from him, whereby we have branches here, and they can do the same thing, so that the turnaround is going to be very fast. We expect a friendly and corporate environment that will promote ease of doing business. Once again, your presence is highly appreciated because each and every stakeholder present here has a distinct role, especially for our common objective, that is how to meet our target for the year 2020.
The newly appointed area controller in charge of Oyo and Oshu Command has intercepted petroleum products from smugglers. The customs area controller said that the command will continue to seize as long as smugglers refuse to leave the trade. He conducted reporters around the seizures made by his men. The customs area controller also said that the customs will always seize banned and contraband items as approved by the government. She urged importers to desist from smuggling activities in the western parts of the country.
Foreign parboiled rice, as you can see, is full of dust. That is to say, they followed through the bush, through unapproved routes. But I thank God for the help of my able, capable, gallant officers that are vigilant with proper monitoring and intelligence. They were able to apprehend them. Rice. What am I saying in effect is that we have total number of 2,770 bags seized. As well, we have used tires. Used tires, we have 880 pieces. And like we all know that used tires is prohibited item. It's not supposed to come into this country. But they follow through the bush to bring them in. But I thank God for my able officers who were able to nap them down. We've been able to talk to the stakeholders, sensitizing them about the ill of smuggling and how dangerous it is to our economy. We've told them about the CGC's mission, which everybody must comply with, in collaboration with other sister agencies whom I've earlier visited to intimate them and seek their cooperation, their collaboration. We were able to make this, plus intelligence unit. And I must also thank our gallant officers, ever vigilant, ever ready to do the job. They come through the bush to ensure that all these seizures are made. I want them to understand and know that our SEMA, which is Customs and Excise Management Act of Section 158, authorizes custom officers to patrol freely. What am I trying to say is that wherever you are, we must get you. Also, Section 167 makes the provision for detention, seizure, and condemnation of goods that illegally come into the country that is not supposed to be. I also want to use this medium to warn the public that this administration is not going to tolerate any form of indiscipline, any form of corrupt practices and smuggling. Because no matter where you follow, no matter the route you think you know better to follow, my officers must get hold of you, and the law must take its costs. All I want the public to do is for them to comply. Stop smuggling. Shun smuggling. Say no to smuggling. Because all of us knows the ill of smuggling to our economy.
The Customs Acting Controller in charge of FOU Zone A has been speaking on seizures made in Lagos recently. Other seizures made by the command include 187 jerry cans and 66 tons of foreign vegetable oil. The unit also intercepted fairly used cars with a total of 625 cartons of frozen product, all brought in through the illegal routes in Ogun State.
The duty paid value is 23,660,000.
Rice and vegetable oil and poultry products were transported in 12 different motor vehicles. According to the acting controller, this shows that despicable acts by daredevil smugglers concealing eatable items in a gas cylinder.
The secret is compliance and discipline among my own officers. We are always compliant. And the advice to smugglers is this: they should always stay away, and they should choose good business that can aid them, but they should stay away from smuggling.
Worried by the continued use of hazardous tools as means of conveying of contraband of foods, they warned economic saboteurs to stop their unscrupulous activities in the country. Just before we round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where seizure was made by the Oyo and Oshu Command worth millions of naira. For me, Egeseme Ejine, thanks for watching.
TV. Do not forget to subscribe.